In this video, we are going to talk about Google Core Web Vitals. So what are these Google Core Web Vitals? Why as a website or a blog owner you need to care about, and how this is going to change the game of Google ranking in future, and how you can be ahead in the game and improve your Google Core Web Vitals score for your website. So we will be discussing all that in this video. So let's begin. Hi, my name is Ankit and welcome to Magazine 3 YouTube channel where we talk about everything related to WordPress. If you want to learn more about WordPress, then make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever we upload our new video. If you want Google traffic, then it's obvious you need to keep Google happy. And how you can keep Google happy? You need to follow certain rules, certain guidelines provided by Google, and that will help your website to stay ahead from your competitors and get a better chance to get ranked in Google search results. And one of these factors is Google Core Web Vitals, which is a metric where Google measures your website speed, your website usability, and the user experience on your website. When all that is combined, it creates Google Web Vitals. And why you should care about it? Because Google Core Web Vitals are now ranking factor for your website. So if you want to rank your website in Google search results, then it's high time that you start improving your Google Core Web Vitals. So let's first understand what are these Google Core Web Vitals, how they affect your website performance and usability, and what are the things that you can do to improve your Core Web Vitals. So Google Core Web Vitals are the part of Web Vitals, which is a metric which focus on your website loading, interactivity, and visual stability. So it's not just about speed, it's about what is the user experience on your website and how effectively your website is able to be helpful for the visitor. So these Core Web Vitals are divided in three parts, and number one is LCP, that is largest contentful paint, and number two it's first input delay, FID, and number three is cumulative layout shift, that is CLS. So first of all, let's take a quick look on all these three. So the first one is largest contentful paint, which means that no matter how fast your website is, it defines how much time does it take to load a meaningful content on your web page. LCP, that is the largest contentful paint, is measuring how fast the first meaningful content is loading on your website. And for a good score, it should be within 2.5 seconds. After that, the second matrix is first input delay, that is FID. If your website got some forms or there is some button or there is some kind of a navigation which takes visitors from page A to page B, then how much delay is happening between this process? So that is actually measured under first input delay. And for a good score, you need to make sure it's under 100 millisecond. After that, the third metric is cumulative layout shift, that is CLS, and I'm sure you must have experienced that many times. This actually deals with when you are trying to click on some element of a website and that element instantly gets a shift in form of a pop-up or in form of any ad. So you must have seen that in various news websites. Whenever you are trying to fill a form or you're trying to click anywhere, then there is an ad pops up or there is an ad which actually expands that page somewhere and the page layout gets disturbed. So that is actually covered in cumulative layout shift, which means that your website should be straightforward and should not have those elements which actually disturbs the user experience by changing the layout or by giving a instant change in the page structure. And for a good score, you need to maintain that below 0.1. So now we know what are these Core Web Vitals. Now the question is how you will get to know what is your score for all these three metrics. So there are two ways that you can know about your score for all these three metrics. One is a lab report that is actually generated by websites like Google Page Speed Insight or maybe GT Metrics, or all these websites where you can measure your page speed. They are also giving you data for Google Core Web Vitals. So for example, I just entered any random website here and they got a pretty good score, and you can see that their FCP and their LCP and their CLS score is pretty good. So this is actually the lab data, because these websites where you can measure your speed and all this data, they are testing your website in a very fixed parameters. Like they are only testing the website from one location at one time. So this can be considered as a lab data. So you can of course refer to this data and work around to improve your score. But a good way to get all these metrics is right from your Google Search Console. If you go to your Google Search Console, and you will see that there is an option for Core Web Vitals. Like in this example, we have 53 poor URLs for mobile, and as of now there is no data for desktop. The more time it stays in Google Search Console, the more data it will collect. And then you can just open the report here, and you will be able to see what the issues are, and then you can work on that. So this data is not a lab data. It is actually collected from the Chrome UX report, which means it is the data which Google collected from Chrome, which is collected by the actual visitors on your website, how they interacted with your website and how your website performed in front of your visitors. So instead of a lab data, you have Google Search Console to collect better data and improve accordingly. So now we know what is our score for these different metrics for Google Core Web Vitals. So how you can improve that? There are various things you can do about it. So we will cover each and everything in the coming videos. So if you like this video, then make sure you hit the like button, and to watch more videos related to Google Core Web Vitals, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever we upload our next video related to search engine optimization or Google Core Web Vitals. So I'm sure you don't want to miss that. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.